everyone, my name is Alex here at Natural Beauty Fence. This is my father Dennis, and today we are going to show you how to build a solid white PVC privacy gate just the way my father taught me. We're going to start with the tools you will need. First, a saw with a PVC blade. You can do the entire operation with a circular saw, as shown here, or you can use a table saw and a chop saw. That'll make it easier. Eye protection. Ear protection, a face mask if you're working indoors. You will need a drill with a hex bit, a Phillips bit, and a 5/8 inch bit, a rubber hammer, a square, a pencil, tape measure, soapy Brillo pad, and a jigsaw.
So you want to make sure that you make the gate the right size. So when you set your gate posts, all right, the first thing you need to know is how wide do I need to make the gates. So you measure between your two posts and you get that measurement. In order for the gate to work properly, you need to take that measurement and deduct 2 inches, and that's for the hardware, for the hinge and the latch. I usually measure on the top and the bottom. Make sure the measurement is the same. That means your posts are level. If they're not level, then you have a problem. You have to check and see which post is not good. But anyway, if that measurement is good for the top and the bottom, you're good to go. You just take whatever that measurement is and you deduct 2 inches. The next thing you need to do is you got to make sure that the height of your gate is correct. So you measure from the ground to just below the cap, okay? And that's going to be the measurement for your gate. You got to be careful. If the ground is going up in the direction that the gate is swinging, you got to take the measurement from the highest point, so that when the gate opens, it clears the highest point. But if it's a flat surface, you measure from there to the bottom of the cap.
74.
And that would be the measurement for the height of your gate. Now, when I make the posts for the gates, I usually make the hole 1 inch below the top of the post. We've cut these posts already. This would be the top of the post. I'm only leaving an inch space here so that the gate comes in right below the cap, but that the top rail is still going to line up with the top rail of the fence. And the reason we do that is because these types of caps, they're called New England caps, are the most popular cap. And you see how far they stick out? Almost an inch past the post. So you want the gate to come in just below those caps so that the cap doesn't interfere with your gate. This one I made using our CNC machine. If you live on Long Island and you don't feel like cutting these holes yourself, you can bring them by Natural Beauty and we can cut them for you at a small charge. Okay, but take your 4x4 post, line it up in the CNC machine. I'm going to clamp it. I already preset the program in my CNC machine, so I'm going to go to the computer. I'm going to turn my router on, put my ear protection on, and we're going to cut some holes. And if you don't have $30,000 to buy a CNC machine to make your gate, it's easy enough to make it with a jigsaw, and I'm going to show you how to cut that hole right now. If you don't have a CNC machine, you can use a regular post. So what I did is I just measured an inch down, and then again I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to measure an inch up, and then I'm just going to take my rail, hold it onto the post, and I'm just going to trace it out and make the square, make the rectangle. And I'll do the same thing on the bottom, and then I'm going to cut it to make a hole. I'm going to take my drill right in the center of the square. Then I'm going to take my jigsaw and I'm just going to cut that hole out. And I can't stress enough, whenever you're cutting PVC, at least wear the safety goggles, because just a piece of PVC flying through the air, chunk in your eye, it's never a good thing. So at the very least, wear your eye protection.
In this example, the opening between our 2 gate posts was 50 inches. So as Dennis said earlier, we are going to deduct 2 inches so that the hinges and the latch can operate properly. We are therefore going to make this particular gate 48 inches tip to tip, or 48 inches exact width. The distance between the ground and the top of the post was 74 inches. In this case, we are going to deduct 2 inches and make it a 72-inch high gate. We have a 48-inch wide by 72-inch high gate. Now that we have our post made, we have to talk about our next step in the operation, which are our rails. We will be using 1.5 by 5.5 inch rails for both the top and bottom of this gate. In order for the gate to be 48 inches wide exact, we need to deduct 3/8 of an inch off the length of this rail to account for the wall thickness of this post. So you measure 47 5/8 inch off this rail. They usually come in 8-foot lengths, and you cut it right on that line. Then after we cut down the rails, we need to cut down the boards. These boards are going to make up the interior of the gate. You determine the length at which to cut down the boards by measuring the distance from the bottom of the top hole on your post to the top of the bottom hole on your post. In this case, the distance between the holes is 59 inches. You then want to add 3 inches to this measurement, assuming that the board is going to insert 1.5 inches into the top rail and 1.5 inches into the bottom rail. Now we need to determine how many boards we're going to use for this gate. In this example, each board shown is 6 inches wide. Therefore, to get 48 inches, you have to first deduct the distance of each post, so each post is 4 inches wide. So you have 2 posts, that's 8 inches. 48 minus 8 is 40. That means you have 40 inches worth of boards in this gate. You therefore need 6 6-inch boards, and you need 1 board cut down to 4 inches. Then you need to cut down your side channels. These side channels just make it so that there's a smooth transition from the boards to the posts. It makes it all look flush. You want to cut these side channels the exact distance between the holes on your post. So in this case, we cut the side channels at 59 inches long.
Now we're ready to assemble the gate. I'm going to take my first post. I like to do it on the floor. I think it's a lot easier. So I put my post on the floor. I just take my rails and I drop my rail in. Okay, right in here, here. The 2 rails are in. Then I take one of my side channels. And I'm going to start with my cut board right here. I'm going to put the side channel on the cut board like this. Okay, my side channel's on, and I'm going to drop the first board into the rails. Two. I just take my boards and I insert them, the tongue into the groove. I put my next side channel on. Like this. I'm going to take my other post. I'm going to drop it on. Right. Now I'm ready to put my inserts in. I like these inserts for a number of reasons. I don't have to buy different size inserts. Most of the rails are either going to be 1.5 inches or 2 inches. This rail, this insert is made to use on a 2-inch like this and an 1.5 inch like this. So 1 insert, I can do both size rails. Why you want to use a good insert is what you're trying to do is to connect this rail to this post and also eliminate any chance that the post can do this when the gate is operating. So it's important to have a good insert. These inserts that we sell are phenomenal for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock this insert in here. And I'm going to take the other insert, put it on the other side. Then I'm going to use my drill with the hex, and I'll grab a bunch of these stainless screws. Everything that we use inside the gate is going to be stainless, because why put a gate together if 3 years from now, 4 years from now, the screw rots out and you have nothing holding the gate together. So we use everything in stainless. And then simply we're going to attach and then we do the same on the other side. And if you notice, I like to use self-tapping screws. It just goes into the plastic a lot easier. You're not fighting it, it just goes in. Alright, so if you remember, we just dropped them in the bottom post, but we didn't connect them to the inserts yet. So we're going to turn the gate over carefully. We're going to put the inserts in the other side. And you see how easy these stainless screws go into the PVC? You're not fighting it, it's not, you know, spinning, it's just going right in. So if you use the right material, the gate's going to last a long time. If you have a guy who builds your gate with any scraps that he has laying around, that's what you're going to have. You're going to have a scrap gate that falls apart real quickly. Okay, so we're not going to play games. We're going to give you a gate that's going to last, because the gate's the most important part of the job. That's what you're going to see every single day when you go in and out of your backyard. So why not make a strong gate? And a lot of people will bring their gates into the shop here for us to fix. And whenever we take the gate apart, it's always the same thing. They didn't use the proper inserts, the gate inserts. They didn't use good screws. The screws broke. There's so many ways people make gates that are cheap, and it's not worth it. Just make a good gate. This is my gate. All right. Hello, where are you?
Right.
Oh, there you are. Okay. All right. So this is my gate, and before I put my cross piece on the gate, I want to make sure that it's square. That's where this comes in handy. This piece of metal is always square. I don't want to put the gate up when it's crooked like this or like this. I want it to be square. And I just put it in the corner. And as long as the top, this, and the side are touching the rail, my gate is square. So now we have to determine which way we're going to put the brace. Now the gate is square, we just squared the gate up. But if you hang the gate without a brace, it's just going to sag over time. So what we want to do is we want to put a brace on it. Now, if I was walking into your backyard in this direction, facing the gate, I want the brace to be facing the backyard. So from the street, you have a nice, clean looking gate. You don't have a brace on the front, okay? So typically, the gate's either going to open with the hinge on the left side or the right side. So we simply call it a left-hand swing or a right-hand swing. You want the low end of the brace to be on the side that has the hinges. For this gate, we're going to make a left-hand swing gate because my customer is walking into the backyard and they want the gate to open in towards the left. So it's going to be hanging off of the post right here. Okay, so we're looking at the good side of the gate, and the post is going to be hanging here. So the hinges are going to be here and here. All right, so since I want the brace to be going down this way, I'm going to lay the gate down, good side facing down. Okay. I used a 7/8 by 3-inch board to put on the back of the gate. So I said this is a left-hand gate, so that you don't get confused. If you're looking at the gate from the brace side now, and you're standing at the bottom of the gate, it's just going to be on your right-hand side. So if you would pick the gate up and turn it around, it would be on your left side. Okay? So I'm going to take the brace and I'm going to lay it between the two rails. Okay, from here to here. Right between the two rails. And okay, now I got to cut that angle right here. Okay, to do that, I'm going to need my pencil and I'm going to need my little speed square. All right. I've been doing this a long time, so I pretty much just eyeball it this time. But if you're not good at eyeballing it, what you're gonna do is get down here, okay? You can kind of put your speed square up against here, put a little mark like that with the pencil. Do the same thing over here, okay? Just put the speed square in there and you're gonna mark it, and then you're gonna just draw a line between those two marks like this, okay? You're just gonna put that like that, and then you're gonna go to the bottom and you're gonna put the same angle on there. I'm gonna put the speed square there, and I'm gonna put a little mark there with the pencil. And I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put a little mark here with the pencil, and then I'm gonna go between the two marks, like here. Okay. And I got a nice line, and I'm gonna cut real slow. Remove my eye protection and my ear protection. Alright, I'm going to put my brace down. It's going to fit between those two rails. Take two more of my self-tapping screws. I'm going to go down here. And I'm putting my foot on the post because I don't want to move anything while I'm screwing this in. And I'm just going to attach this right in here. And I'm going to do the same up here. And then what I want to do is put a couple of screws in here. I don't have to do every single picket, but I'm going to do a few of the pickets. I pulled out 5 screws and 5 cap plugs, so I'm just going to do it pretty much even. I'm going to do the first one. I center it in here, and I make a hole. And then I'm going to go down here, make a hole in the center. I'm going to do the second one here. And if you want to do every single one, you can do every single one, but you know, it really isn't going to add to the gate, and I'd rather do fewer cap plugs than more. Okay, and then I just put one in the center of the center picket. Now I'm going to switch bits. I'm done with my hex bit, and I'm going to put on my Phillips bit, and I'm going to grab my 5 Phillips screws. Again, they're stainless. Nothing on this gate is going to rust. And then I just put this in here, and I screw those in like so. If you want to clean those holes up a little bit, you can use your speed square. Just kind of put it in here. It'll clean up those holes a little bit. Just taking off the loose PVC. Then you have 5/8 cap plugs. All right. And you're just going to put those on, snap them right in. Now your gate's built. So I'm going to take my 2 flat caps and my PVC glue. All right. I'm going to put a little PVC glue on the inside here. Put it up here. File the cap. All right. And I'm going to measure, and I have a 48-inch gate tip to tip. Okay? So you got a 6x48-inch gate, which will fit a 50-inch opening. And if you look on the back here, the low end is on this end, so the hinges are going to go on this side. let's just talk real quick about finishing this gate up. All right, you took the time to make the gate, and we're going to bring it outside in a little bit. We're going to clean it, hose it down, and wash it. The gate is going to look phenomenal. Alex is going to show you the completed gate in a few minutes. But now that you have your gate, you're going to have to hang your gate. And again, why buy cheap hardware? There's a lot of garbage on the market. Most of it is coming from overseas. And there's a reason guys buy it from overseas, because cheap is cheap. They could save a lot of money. If you save $15 on a hinge and $10 on a latch, that's 25 bucks. And your average fence company is going to put 10, 15 gates in a week, maybe 20 or 30 gates. Do the math. It's a lot of money. But basically what you're doing is you're giving all your customers a lot of garbage. The first thing to break on a gate is always going to be the hinge and the latch. So, you know, I'd rather spend the money and get quality American-made hardware. I like to buy my hinges and my latches American-made. These are made from Modern Fence Technologies out of Wisconsin. I know the owner really well. He does a nice job making American-made products. So we're going to hang this gate with an American-made set of hinges and American-made set of latch. What I like about this latch is they call it a dual latch. There's a hole on each end, so you can lock it from the backyard or the front yard. And you see that spring? That's an American-made spring. 99% of all the gate failures that we see, that people come in here and they say my latch broke, it's because they bought a cheap latch with a cheap spring and the spring breaks, and then they can't find a replacement spring, so they need to buy a new latch. That's not going to happen with this hardware. I've been using it for 20-something years. I've never had a spring break, and I'll be honest with you, the latches never break. I've never had a problem with the hinges. So I stick with American-made hinges and latches. I also like to put on the gate a handle when the customer wants one. I like this handle because when you open the gate, you got a nice handle. It also acts as a gate stop. So when the gate gets shut, this stopper here is going to keep the gate so that it doesn't kick in past the post. So it's a gate stop and a handle. Really nice piece of add-on. Again, you don't need it, but it's nice to have a handle on your gate. All right, so let's get this thing outside with our steel wool and clean it, and we'll show you what it looks like in a few minutes. Just remember, when you're building your gate, it's so much easier if you prepare everything. Cut your posts, your rails, your boards, get everything ready, have your tools out and everything you need, and that way you're not running back and forth to different stores. Everything is pre-cut, made, and then you saw the assembly of the gate takes 10 minutes to assemble a gate. So just prepare it and then put the gate together, and it's so simple.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if it's a solid gate or a picket gate or a gate with lattice or a gate with pickets. The idea of building the gate is exactly the same. You might have 3 rails instead of 2. It doesn't matter. The same principle applies to building a gate.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope this video was informative. If you have any questions, anything that we didn't cover, or if anything is unclear, please leave a comment down below and we will answer you. Or you can give us a call at this number here. We're happy to help you. Or if you prefer to just order a gate, we'll build it for you and send it to you, or you can come pick it up here at our location in Wantagh. We have been in this location since 1947, family owned and operated. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this was helpful.